I know this podcast is probably not going to be for everyone, but if you ever find yourself asking questions about things like relationships, marriage, singleness, sexuality, questions about, man, what did it look like to follow Jesus in today's world? Because, let's be honest, there are some questions that we have that we're really good and really comfortable asking, but there are a lot of questions that a lot of us are super uncomfortable asking. And oftentimes it's in those uncomfortable spaces, those uncomfortable questions where we need to have more conversations. I really want this podcast to be a place of curiosity, a place of learning, a place where even in the midst of the difficult, hard, probably very potentially awkward conversations or awkward questions, we will keep our eyes fixed on Jesus. This podcast is going to take the Bible seriously because we believe it's authoritative. It's going to take people's stories seriously and pastoral care seriously because we're dealing with human beings who have real struggles and real temptations. And the Bible talks about truth and grace, not just truth or not just grace. They both show up together in a person. And that person is Jesus. So if this podcast isn't for everyone, who is it for? I mean, I guess hypothetically, this podcast is for anyone who wants to listen. But ultimately, it's going to be for people who are curious. It's for people who are thoughtful, who probably have those awkward questions, like we were talking about earlier, but are too nervous to ask them. This podcast is for single people, married people, parents, churchgoers. It's probably going to vibe better if you have a similar worldview that is a Christian worldview. But if you're curious about the Christian worldview and how we think about questions of relationships, marriage, sexuality, and singleness from a non-affirming perspective, you're welcome to listen too. And especially for those that have been trying to figure out how to engage this conversation on human sexuality and all the tension that surrounds it with truth and compassion, this podcast is definitely for you. So, pull up a chair. Let's talk about things that maybe are a little bit uncomfortable to talk about. We're going to talk about them.